team, how are we? Welcome to day 5. We're starting on the floor, so come on down to your knees. So you've got two options here. I'm just going to turn to the side to show you. You can either untuck your toes and sit back on your heels. This can just be enough of a stretch in the knees. If you want to add a little bit extra, tuck your toes at the back. Maybe just double check that that little baby toe is actually tucked under. It likes to escape. And then sit back. A little bit more intense. But let's think about sitting up nice and tall in whatever pose you've decided to choose. Take 3 big breaths here. So let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale it all out. Inhale. Let it go. Lovely. Inhale. And go. Nice. Let's ease off those toes. If you were leaning on your toes, just give them a little pat behind you. Just find that nice little release in those toes. Let's step into a little tabletop position. So fingertips nice and wide underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's run through a little cat-cow just to start off. Always feels quite nice to get into the spine this way. Give your hips a little sway as well. Now, this can be like wagging your tail, or, you could have a little bit of a sexy cow, sexy kitten situation going on here. Whatever you fancy. So just have a few movements like here, just to feel that nice little bit of rotation in the spine, in the hips, before we start. Lovely. Let's come back into that tabletop. We're going to take the left leg first of all. I want you to take that left foot and pop it out towards the side. Your left hand comes underneath that left shoulder, and we're going to open the right hips to the side, stretch your right arm up. You may want to move that left leg in a little, just so you feel a bit more supported in the hip. So this is your supported side plank. Let's reach up. Maybe you point the toe here. So what we want to think is push that right hip kind of out and up so that we're really stretching into that hip. Lovely. Keep your foot now planted on that floor. I want you to come up onto your left fingertips. You can all the way up and you find this little gate pose. So hands are out to the side. We're staying in this position, but what I want you to do is lean down towards that outstretched leg. Lovely. So we're not losing this form. We're still nice and tall. It's just this little side dip here. Lovely. Coming back to centre and back again. Nice. Flip your palm just up towards the ceiling here. A wee rotation into the shoulder. Again, just helps with any kind of stiffness. Looking up towards that hand. Rotate it back and down. Bring your hands just in front of you here. I want you just to rock back and forward. Oh, good job there's not a microphone down at my hip there. It just made a lovely little good morning noise. So we just want to rock back and forward. These can be as big or as small as you like. So you can come all the way down, push all the way back up. Just depends how your knee is as well. So don't force it. Lovely. Bringing yourself into that all four with this lovely extended leg. We're going to take the left hand up towards the side. You'll feel that stretch into the hip here. And we're going to thread that underneath the arm. Now, if you can bring your shoulder all the way to the floor, great. If not, you can jam a little pillow under there, or you can sort of hover halfway. We just want to feel that nice stretch into the shoulder as well. And we've obviously got the leg extended to keep that inner thigh feeling good. Lovely. Push on that right hand, bring yourself up. Walk your hands back round to the start. Left hand under. Last big stretch into that side plank. And back to all fours. Nice. Give yourself a little wiggle to reset. I'm going to switch sides so I'm not facing away from you. So again, just give yourself a little wiggle just to reset, and then right foot comes out to the side. Right hand is underneath that shoulder. We open up into that lovely side angle stretch, or the supported side plank. Nice. You can point your toe here, feel that lovely stretch into that left hip, looking up. So again, think about pushing the body round so the chest is almost facing up towards the ceiling here. We're really opening these hips. Nice. Plant that left foot, and we're going to come up onto those left fingertips, and maybe give yourself a light push all the way back up into your gate. Again, like a scarecrow here, nice wide arms. We're just going to dip down towards that left leg. Take a breath here and come all the way back up. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. Nice little dip. Rotate your palm and maybe look up here. So you can lift that right arm a little bit more. Find that wee stretch into that shoulder. Give your fingers a wiggle as well. Always feels quite nice. Wee wrist movement. And come back in to that gate. Hands in front. We'll start those little rocks back and forward. Now, I always say bodies have their imbalances. So if you find that you're a bit tighter on one side, just go with how your body's feeling. Don't force what doesn't need to be forced. Lovely. Let's back into all fours. This time we take the right hand up towards the side and let's slide it under here. Find maybe the right shoulder onto the mat, and then you can rest your head. You see, you might feel it a little bit more flexible on one side than the other. Take another big breath here and then bring that right hand all the way back out. Walk the hands back round, find your side angle approach here. Nice big stretch through the body. Lovely. And back to all fours. Now that we're back to all fours, we can give ourselves a little cat-cow here just to reset. I'm going to turn right back the way I was. Lovely. So we're going to, now it's day 5. I think it's time to come into downward facing dog. So in your all fours, let's walk those hands slightly, about half a handprint in front, so they're not directly under your shoulders. I want you to tuck your toes. And we're going to lift the knees up and push the hips back. Now you might find you're a bit like this, looking between your hands. I want you to bend your knees quite significantly and push your ears between your shoulders here. Then you can work on moving your legs here, but we want the back to be nice and strong. So if you feel that you're quite congested up at the neck, see if you can bend your elbows and open a little bit of space here. So in downward dog, I would always just recommend a nice little light little pedal here. And that can be quite nice for the toes, the feet, the ankles, even the calves. It'd be quite nice. Just make sure we're not in this big tabletop and you're not really getting that. Let's move the ears between the biceps, looking at your feet or your shins and pedal. Lovely. Bringing your feet to a standstill, let's bend the knees here. I want you to walk your hands as much as you can towards those feet. We're in this lovely forward fold. Let's take a wee halfway lift. Hands on the shins or the thighs. Lift the chest and bend. Take a lovely little forward fold here, this little ragdoll approach. Now we don't want to be bending from our mid-back, so if you feel a bit like this, bend your knees and almost crouch down onto the floor. Then tuck your chin and then straighten your legs a wee bit. You don't have to have super straight legs here actually. Poker straight legs are not great for the knees. So do whatever feels good as long as you're bending from the hips here. Find that little ragdoll, have a little move, or just take that weight down, tuck your chin into your chest, have the top of the crown of your head pointing to the floor. Lovely. Take another big breath here. And on your next inhale, we are going to roll all the way up, nice and gently, all the way to the top. Bring your hands up above your head, and then we'll just take the palms together here. Take a light bend towards one side, push into that opposite hip, bring yourself back to centre, and on the other. Lovely. Taking yourself back to centre here, looking up towards your thumbs, I want you to slightly bend your knees and just push your hips forward here. Look up at your thumb and find that the arms are just moving slightly further back. Not out with your gaze here. We don't want to go all the way back. We just want to feel that nice opening of the hips and a light back bend here. Lovely. Bring yourself back to the start and reset. Well done. That is day 5. You're doing great. Hopefully you're finding these are super helpful, especially with your runs as the days goes on. I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Bye everyone.